going on, everybody? You are live with Osiris. Welcome to the Author's Lounge. The world is filled with storytellers, and I, along with my guests, are here today in the Author's Lounge to help educate and inspire the young generation of writers and creators. Now, my guests are professionals in publishing, writers from a wide range of formats, and successful entertainers. They will provide beneficial advice on what to do and what not to do on your path to success. So, without further ado, I'll present to you our next guest. Let's go.
I'm really excited about today's episode because I have a returning guest and a friend of mine and someone who I've been in contact with since I had her on the show last year, 2025 to be specific, depending on what time of the year you're listening to this. So I'm not going to go through a long list of a bio because she has a long list. I just want to hop right into it. But she is a playwright. She has found a great deal of success with her stories and with her stage plays. She's gone as far as flying all the way out from the East Coast to the West on opportunities because of her writing. And I can't wait to talk to her about it. Speaking of which, you have a stage play that maybe not a stage play. You have a story that is out there. I'll let you talk about that because I already forgot the information I wanted to say. So without further ado, I present to you the wonderful, the playwright, Miss Sarah Congress. Welcome back, Sarah.
I'm so happy to be back, Priel. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. And we just talked about it and it was here. And then I got excited and it went away. But
Yeah, that's fine. So it's called Delulu.
Delulu, yep.
And it's a full-length horror comedy. And it went to the Actors Guild in October. Had a pretty sold-out reading, and it just got picked up by Fieldsbine Literary. It's going to get published, and then I get to go to AWP in Baltimore in March to be there for the launch and read a couple scenes. And I believe this really links us because you just made a horror film.
Yeah. No, thank you for the segue. Yep, on the horror film that I made, and this is a wonderful idea, and I'm not going to take credit for it. It was Sarah's idea to make this like a cross-promotional thing, so definitely hats off to her. But yeah, so my film is titled Don't Go Inside, and it's a hybrid of what you would expect Blair Witch Project and Paranormal Activity to be. They had a baby. And the idea behind the film is we got two friends. A friend convinces my character to go out on this hike. This hike is on the most haunted hiking trail in the entire state of Washington and is ranked to be one of the most haunted hiking trails in the entire country, United States to be specific. So the idea is to go over there, go hiking, and to do a ghost hunt. Some things don't really go the way it should have went. And in fact, fun fact, we had a story in mind beforehand, this whole idea on the fly, because some stuff actually started to happen. Some real stuff started to happen where I had thought we were going to get killed.
Oh my God.
No BS. Legitimately thought we were going to get killed. Had to flip the story on, like right on the dot. And so, after we escaped the cave, it was a literal hellhole. After we escaped the cave, I stopped recording. After we caught our breath, I'm like, man, dude, we gotta, we're in some real danger here, man. So we quickly put our brains together, came up with with an alternative story. So I'm actually looking forward to when the film comes out, which is going to be February 13th, Friday the 13th for anybody who's superstitious. And it's going to be on YouTube. I'm going to do it for free on YouTube and let's let everybody have a good time with it. And yeah, so more details that's to come, but thank you for for that opening opportunity, Sarah.
And I was just in the Washington State too. I was just in Spokane Community College. They did my play Sherry, and I'm excited that I'm going to be going back to the college, hopefully, I think March or April, to do some teaching over there. And I have to admit, it's a really beautiful but very eerie state. There is that magical mountain altitude, waterfall. I quite liked it. I also read the Twilight series, because as we were talking, millennials here, and so we had Twilight back in the day, and I felt very
Hmm.
like, ooh, I'm like Bella Swan in this
Yeah.
spooky little town, and
Hmm.
oh my goodness, there's a waterfall. What's behind the waterfall? So
Yeah.
I feel it.
No, that
Beautiful
place
state,
is.
by the way. Gorgeous state. The
Mhm.
air is cleaner there.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is one thing I will give this place, this state as a whole, especially the more closer to Seattle, the more it's closer to the coast you are. The air is as clean as I've ever inhaled, but it is certainly there's a vibe of horror in the areas,
Yeah.
especially where I was at. So for context, I was at the Iron Goat Trail. That is in Skycommerce, Washington, next to Stevens Pass. It's close to Leavenworth, Washington. It's about 2 hours and some change away from where I'm currently residing. And I was apprehensive to even do the film. Once I found out that of its history, I'm like, oh, you telling me like 96 people died there? What? In a tunnel from an avalanche? Oh no. And then when we went there was snow there. So it was, it was, I knew once we got there and there was a guy and a woman and a dog, and the dog was like this broad dog pulling his owner towards the exit point or the entry point. We were just entering and they were leaving, but they hadn't stayed there long because something about there was a flood and there was a river and the dog was not feeling it and he was really intimidated from something. And I'm like, man, but we're here. We drove 2+ hours out here to do this film. So let's
Oof.
freaking do it. So the reactions in the film are legitimate reactions. There's like crazy voices that got picked up on the recording. Um, a female voice, people walking through the water, walking on wood, things cracking
What?
in the background. We had a ton of stuff that happened to us there, and I almost walked off a cliff and then fell into something. It was freaking wild, man. I
You
will
must
never
your
ever do
wife
that.
must have been like, you were never doing a horror movie again.
No, I didn't want to do. She didn't understand. So we didn't even have service out there. But somehow in the forest, deep in the forest, in the tunnel, in a cave, in the middle of the cave, I got some sort of reception. Like my phone started to like ring. I'm like, bro, I'm not answering that phone, man. It was, yeah, it was horrifying. But let's talk about your horror comedy.
Comedy, yeah.
I'm getting some
Yeah.
PTSD right now.
Yeah, it's, but art imitates life
Yeah.
oftentimes. So, yeah, I mean, I think we're all really excited to join you on the 13th.
Oh yeah.
And we're all hoping your audience and loved ones are hoping that you maybe don't film another horror movie there.
No.
Just a
Should I
thought.
do another horror film, Sarah?
You do another horror film, but maybe not there. Maybe
No, no. Yeah,
maybe
no,
not
I'm
there.
not. No, I told them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you should though. So
Yeah.
Delulu, I'm really was obsessed with the movie Presence with Lucy
Mhm.
Liu, and I also just loved Crimson Peak, Guillermo del Toro, and I was like,
Yeah.
I want to do my own horror. I also have a Halloween birthday, read the tarot, big and like I'm also just
Yeah.
like probably talking to a ghost in my bedroom closet. Like I have this spare bedroom in my Hoboken apartment, and I made
Yeah.
it like my spiritual closet, and I just like talk to
Nice.
whoever is in there. But
Yeah.
I'm totally normal. I'm just a little, little Halloween baby.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, so it's a horror comedy, so I knew, like a sixth sense. You have to know the rules of the key to horror is the rules of the world. What rules
Mhm.
are following vampire rules? Does the person have to knock before being allowed in? Do they have to be
Mhm.
allowed in? Come hither. That's
Mhm.
a big thing in Delulu. And people loved the vampire talk at our Q&A at the Guild.
Yeah.
I thought everyone was going to fall asleep, but everyone was like, wait, oh, it was vampire rules. That's why the
Yeah.
spirit entered. And I'm always like, yes, they felt it, the sci-fi. So a woman named Dina is haunted by the memory of her alcoholic, abusive ex-husband, Dougie. And they grew up in the Jersey Shore, of course, Ocean Grove.
Mhm.
And her daughter is about to leave for college. She's only 39. She had her daughter very, very young. And her daughter's
Mhm.
about to leave for college. And she starts getting visits by her abusive ex-husband who's trying to tempt her, seduce her back. But it's a comedy. It is a comedy, believe it or not. And so she drops her daughter off at SUNY Oswego to go to college. She's the first girl in the family to go to college. And she doesn't have enough money to pay for beyond the freshman year. So she decides to rent out her basement on Airbnb. And then she ends up falling in love with the young, it's an 18-year-old, a very young, sexy musician. And she has like a, what is it? What do they do? Like the Nicole Kidman, like the winter summer romance. So she's 39. Yeah. She falls in love and starts having an affair relationship with this 18-year-old musician who takes over her basement. And the memory of her ex-husband is also coming in and out. And she ends up, well, it's a horror movie, kind of, for the stage. So it's intense, but it really is a comedy. And I wrote it because I was so annoyed with like the Nicole Kidman and the baby girl and the Anne Hathaway of just these older women who have the affair with the younger guy, but they're like multimillionaires and have these amazing art houses and like Los Angeles, and they have like no abusive people in their life, and they're just, you know, bored basically. So they have the affair. Yeah. And then I was like, I want to write these stories from my perspective, like the girls I would hear at the workout world in the locker room down the Jersey Shore. Like I want to write about someone who can't make rent, who doesn't have all the money in the world, who doesn't have a Botoxed up face, who can't even afford to put her daughter through a state school. Like I want to write it for the people I know, like for actual socioeconomic demographics that I know, like women that don't have these luxuries. And so, yeah, that's what Delulu is.
That sounds so exciting. And it sounds like it's going to be a film that hits the stage. And that's the one thing I will say about stage, right? The different mediums when it comes to performance. The thing about performance arts that I truly love is you can't fake it. You once you're on that stage, it's real. Like if you forget something, you forget it. There's no playbacks. There's no way to edit it. You got to play to what's going on. And if there somehow happens to be some sort of a mishap and you play to the mishap and make it look like it's a part of the story, that's the beauty and that magic. But I'm so curious to see, and I know it's going to turn out well, but I'm so curious to see how it's going to be translated on stage once the stage director gets their hands on your play and the costume designs and however that it gets cultivated into the actual performance of your story. I can't wait to see what that's going to turn out to be, and I would love to see the show. I don't know where it's going to be. Any ideas of where it could potentially be?
So it's going to have a reading at AWP Baltimore in March. It's going to be published, but it is in the hands of like my agent, for example, wonderful Anthony Tall. If you're listening to this, I'm giving you a shout out. You're a wonderful
What's up, Anthony?
Client Sarah. Brielle is waving. So there's a lot of playwright to screen crossover. I'm a playwright, and so I write a lot of my scripts. I've done Come Hither, and I did the Maisel spec, which we talked about last time, which really got me into learning more about the different mediums. So I write things pretty minimalist when it comes to stage directions. I always write less is more. And so that's because there's a fluidity and I've been told there's a fluidity in a lot of my pieces where if, for example, a film producer read it and was like, oh, this should be filmed, I can just easily go rework the script with them. Or if a stage producer says, you know what, let's do 3 weeks rehearsal, let's get it up. It could also be rewritten a little bit that way. So I kind of write in this genre called teleplay, where it's just very minimal directions because I'm not a director, I'm a writer. And this year I've actually started even dabbling in fiction, which has been really fun. That's had awesome. A short piece published in Gargoyle, which was really fun. And I'm very interested also with my work just as a script doctor, rewriting for producers mainly. I know we're going to rewrite no matter what. So I like to just kind of leave it fluid The script
Yeah.
is fluid. If you are a theater director or you're a film, or even if someone was like, you know what, this would be good in 6 parts for TV.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. I don't know everything. Like, I also am the first to be like, hi, I don't know everything. This is just a good idea. And like,
Yeah.
let's work together to make it better. And I think I'm lucky too, because I've worked with a lot of fun and really, really, really intelligent producers that it's like,
Yeah.
I admit that I don't know. And so why don't you tell me what you'd like me to write and I'll write it for you. So fluid. We'll see what happens.
Yes. But that's the thing with the one thing well, there's many things, right? But one of the things I really appreciate about you, and especially in just and learning about your hustle, is that you are just so relentless in your approach in creating art, right? Like that art being as a writer, and you have all these ideas, but you act on those ideas. There's many times, and I'm sure you've met plenty of people who have ideas. They're really ambitious with their ideas, and they just stay ideas for like 4 or 5 years and they don't act on it. Whereas there's individuals such as yourself that takes the idea and then they go with it and they just create, and whatever happens, happens. And I think there's something to be said about people who have your tenacity, you in specifics, and the tenacity and the approach and wanting to just be better at your art. It takes a lot of consistency, it takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of blood and sweat and tears if we're going to go to the to that phrase, right? To be great at anything, but especially as a writer, because it's so specific. And I say this as a writer as well. It's so specific in what you're trying to create that it can be hard to even understand when the end is the end of the book or of the play or of the movie or of the show, whatever the medium is of that particular writing format. It's really hard sometimes to say, man, how do I end this? Or what's actually the ending? How often have you run into that issue when it comes to, or better question is, what's harder for you to write, the opening or the ending of
Well,
of your plays?
that's a great question. And I also just want to say you have just as much tenacity. Anyone who's just showing up and trying
Yeah.
every day, like with your
Yeah.
podcast, with your writing, with your film that we were all worried about for you on the 13th,
Yeah.
worried about your safety. Like it's just showing up every day. That's the same as like, it's the same muscle as someone who goes to the gym 3 times a week or 4 times a week,
Yep.
or is like, I'm going to spend less money this month. I really think it's just the same muscle.
Yeah.
Now you were saying beginning or ending?
Yep. Which one is harder for you? If it is hard at all, which one is
I
harder
get
for you?
late, so I get bored 3/4 of the way, and I'm like, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, I'm bored. I want to go write something else. This is boring.
Yeah.
Here's a really cheap. And then any time without fail, when I send it off to a director, they're like, Act 2, what happened there? It's like,
Yeah.
I get to like 3/4 of the way, and then I'm like, okay, like, this is dull. I want to go write something else. I'm over
Yeah.
this. I wish I never, like, I don't care. Like, just
Yeah.
here's a little ribbon. And then, like, immediately, whoever I've sent it to is like, yeah, we should really workshop Act 2. Like, are you open to, it's like, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I
Yeah.
get 75% in, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm on page 65. Isn't that enough? Like,
Yeah.
what more can you say?
It's pretty genius, actually. It's like, if it calls for it, I'll go back to it. But for now, I'm done.
Oh,
And you submit it.
you
and then-
always have to go back. You
Yeah.
always have to go back to it. So I'm like, it's fine for now. It's like a draft. That's why it's called a draft. Like,
Yeah.
I really can't think of a time where I haven't rewritten something that's getting, like, once it gets picked, once it's not a semifinalist, once it's a finalist, once it's going to have a production, I have never not rewritten the hell out of something. Even if the director's like, she's doing a line change at dress rehearsal, it's like, yeah, that line doesn't fit. Like, like, I'll always go in and make it good before a production, but 70, I'm like, it's enough for now. It's done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send this to the world. And then I literally have a director friend who's like, he's very established. He's like had
Yeah.
a film at Sunday. Like, he's like he's a theater company. He's a wonderful person. And he's always like, Sarah, you're really sloppy with acting. Like, someone I trust, he's like, you're like fairly consistently sloppy. around page 66. And it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, like, what more do you want from me? Like,
Yeah. This is what
we'll
you
fix
get
it
here.
together. We'll fix it over Zoom. We'll fix it over coffee.
Yeah. No, I bet that's that's another aspect of creativity that I really enjoy. It's that art of, okay, but can we change this, or changing it on the fly, or maybe something happens during the actual production piece, and maybe it needs to be maybe something completely rewritten or redone. It kind of goes back to what I was talking about when I was in that cave, and like real stuff started to happen, and like right on the fly, once we got to a safe point, we're like, we got to change something immediately. There's no way we can continue. So, but that part, as crazy as it sounds, right? And you made a comment about, about that additional closet and saying, hey, I'm normal. Yeah, I'm normal too, right? So, the reason why I'm saying that is because it's like, yeah, I don't know how normal it is to want to go to a spot like that and you only know these things and you still like, hey, let's just chill here. But Sarah, when I tell you,
Oh my goodness.
I felt like there was people all around me. You know that feeling. Everybody should know, if they are well enough to know, if somebody is watching them, right? If there's somebody physically standing behind you, you just like, why do I feel like someone's behind me? You look behind you, like, oh, there's actually someone staring at me. It's literally that feeling, but amplified. When you feel surrounded, that's what it felt like. And it was justified based on the audio that was freaking captured. It's wild what cameras can capture that is not actually visible to the naked eye. It's actually quite insane and frightening at the same time. So for anybody who's going to be in this genre of horror, whether you're writing a story or you're filming it, it takes some real guts to do anything horror related, because you got to go to a place. You just got to go to a place. What I love about what Sarah's talking about is a horror comedy. So there's some horror elements, but there's also some comedic relief. I wish I had comedic relief.
I'm about to get my evil eye protector out for this. Just like sage the screen. Do you know what? Is there like a legend, or like we're all fascinated? Is there like a legend about what you were feeling? Is this like something other people have reported?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, this is actually like reports. They were legit. So I didn't actually review the reports. I wanted to go there with a blank slate. I did research, however, the history of that trail. And it was true. In 1910, there was a reported death of about 96 people that were reported because of an avalanche and the trains colliding, and it killed people in the tunnel we went into. That's all I knew. But apparently there were reports of people hearing things, seeing a girl appear, which that was crazy in itself. I have Polaroid pictures that we took where stuff appeared in those pictures. Polaroid pictures. And it's legit. Like that's why I brought that Polaroid camera, because you can fake a lot of things. I mean, you can fake Polaroid imagery, like it's not hard with today's technology. But I'm not faking anything.
No, it doesn't.
On those
sound
Polaroid
like it.
pictures, it's what you see, it's what you get. And that's why I brought it, because I'm like, okay, to further add to the authenticity of this experience, I'm thinking, let's just bring a Polaroid camera, let's just see what happens. And yeah, those reports of people saying that they hear things, people get touched, people get pushed, people they see girls and all this other stuff. I didn't hear any of that stuff until after the recording was fully finished, and I went back in and I talked, and that's when they told me, I'm like, yo, no way, dude. That happened, man. So
I really hope that the spirits are, may they be happy, may they be at peace, they find relief. I'm sending them some good juju right now.
Oh yeah.
I hope that you took some sage and
we were safe. No, we prayed, we did our thing before we left.
Like a sage, like lit some sage and just cleanse.
Oh yeah.
This is real house. Ethers. This is the real.
Yeah, I know it was
There's
real.
A lot of places like that down the shore where I'm from, like Ocean Grove, where my friend and I and my mom and I too will just be like, "Oh yeah, that house is haunted." You just know, And so I 1000% believe you, and I'm so glad that you made it out. And may those spirits be happy. May they be at peace.
May they be at peace. And
may they be at peace.
And on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and close everything out. But hey, any closing remarks before I let you go?
Yes, if you are around March 14th and want to join, I'm teaching another class for the Hudson Valley Writers Center. They're wonderful. Yay, Hudson Valley. And it's actually about tarot, how to use tarot and astrology to write a scene for theater or film. So taking two of my favorite things in the world, writing and astrology, tarot. So let's say Brielle's writing a scene and he's like, I'm a little stuck, Sarah. Like, you know, the boy meets girl, but I don't know what's going to happen. I would say, well, what's his astrological sign and what's her moon sign? And then after we dissect, you know, oh, he's a sun Scorpio, but her moon sign is a Pisces. Like, we can figure out what's going to happen just based on astrology. So
That's
it's a
awesome.
very lighthearted class, and it's on Zoom.
Oh, good. And I'll make sure to share the link once the link is available. I'll share the link with the followers here. Well, okay. Well, hey, Sarah, thank you so much for coming by and for your idea of this being a cross promo. Yeah, this has been fun.
We're all excited for the 13th, and we're very happy you made it back.
Yeah, same. Excited for you as well. And can't wait to continue to stay in touch and continue to just I'm looking forward to even potentially collaborating with you in the future on something. So,
that'd be so fun.
I wanted to give a shout out. You said you had mentioned a guy, his name Reg Gaines. He had acknowledged me through you about the show, and I wanted to say, hey, sir, if you're watching the show, thank you so much. Sarah had wonderful things to say about you, and I'm really greatly appreciative that you took the time to watch any of my content. And I hope that you enjoy the remainder of the ride. Hey, and on that note, I hope you all have a wonderful remainder of your day. You all take care. I'll see you next time.